Hey, what's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to be appreciating and examining one of the most important scenes in the John Wick series. Without this scene, the movies would have fallen flat. It's a very important scene. It happens in the first film, around 20 minutes in, and this scene is carried by its sound design. It has a lot of tension and release, tension and release. It's expertly done. It's very fascinating. It has like 17 million views on YouTube. Very important scene. And it's important because, as far as I know, I'm not a filmmaker, but as far as I know, I imagine it's very difficult to convince an audience that the main character is feared, is a badass, and is a killing machine. Especially after, a dog's licking his face. This scene occurs after all this, and he goes to Aurelio, goes to his shop because his car was stolen, and Aurelio, former business associate, he would know where his car is because he deals with a lot of boosted cars. He's an associate, he's not a friend because he wasn't at his wife's funeral. And John Leguizamo, yes, John Leguizamo, fantastic performance, and he is very nervous. And I'd be nervous if I was expecting John Wick at my place of business. So let's start off here. I'll just give it a play.
Is it here?
Right, frantically, like offers a drink, kind of as a peace offering, frantically. I love that pop of the cork there.
It was.
Right, so long pauses, right? So the long pause is there to build tension, and there's relative silence there in terms of, no ambient music or anything like that.
It was.
I asked you, where the hell did you get it?
Who gives a shit?
Yosef Tarasov nicked it.
Right, a kind of droney synth sound, maybe from Omnisphere, I'm not quite sure, occurs. And it's a way to build tension and transfer into the scene. Also really love the color grading. It's very blue. Good effect there.
Yeah.
Very tense.
All right, get out of here. Just get out of my shop. Get out right now.
Just lose your...
Right, so he doesn't want anything to do with that vehicle in his car. He's like, get it the hell out of the shop.
Wait, what did you say? What did you say to me?
We own you.
All right, so the young kid, Yusef, I believe his name is. This scene is kind of like an amazing contrast, and you'll see in a little bit he has the same altercation with his father, and just kind of night and day of what's going on here.
It was.
Oops.
You don't know me, punk. I work with your father, all right? The owner of the car. Did you kill him or what?
No. You sure as hell fucked up his dog.
You fucked up his dog. That's what you did. You fucked up his dog.
Yeah.
Okay, so notice the impact. I imagine you've seen this movie before.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy shit, man.
Right, pretty weak punch. Not weak in terms of what they're trying to portray, but the impact is not there. And, it's just a kind of a slap. And usually in a movie, there's a thud, like on the low end. And we'll witness more impacts as time goes on. And when the gun is pulled, which is kind of occurring right now, that same synth, drone kind of, I don't know, because it's kind of like a resonating bell sort of thing. That occurs, and that is there to build or to kind of keep the tension. And in this red part here, it kind of keeps that.
Oh, look at you. It's great. Look, you're gonna come into my shop and you're gonna pull a gun on me. That's great, man. Come on. Now, you kill me right now, or you get the fuck out of my shop.
All right, so this is the desperation and the fear. So this guy is like, Aurelio has a true gangster. He's like, pull a gun on me, like fucking shoot me, because if that car isn't out of this shop, I'm dead, right? So that's his mentality, and it's just one of those things. Like he's willing to do that, and have relatively no fear. He's more afraid of John Wick, and it's setting it up non-verbally, because you can't be like, hey, John Wick is, he knows how to use guns and he killed a bunch of people. It's portrayed non-verbally, and the folly in this is amazing. How he grabs the gun. Listen to that.
Come on. Now, come on. Come on. Come on. Now, you.
I love that sound. I love little things like this, because that's not, on a set, everything is, like the sound effects are recorded, post with people that really know what they're doing, and things like that. And we'll get into that more.
Fuck out of my shop.
Vigo is not gonna like this.
What do you know what Vigo?
Right, so they're setting up, this mythical figure. This guy's, we're assuming, the person that he works for. He says he's not gonna like this. You know what I mean? It's setting this up. It's like, yeah. I'd rather answer to this guy than John Wick. That's basically what they're setting up.
What do you know what Vigo likes or doesn't like? I'll tell you something he's gonna understand.
Right, and this scene, the tension is released by impact. So an impact is coming up.
You got a fucking pair on you, old man!
Right, unfazed.
Guess we'll be taking our business someplace else.
Right, so that impact eases the tension.
So what are you gonna do?
Another long pause.
I need a ride.
And then there's a muscle car coming up. All right, so that was set up quite well. And on to the next part. Right, so silence. And John Leguizamo's performance in this is amazing. Notice just how freaking nervous he is. When you're nervous, your mouth gets dry. And this is just this is an amazing performance when he answers the phone. Oh, he clears his throat too.
Aurelio speaking.
I heard you struck my son.
Yes, sir, I did.
Yeah, may I ask why?
Yeah, well.
That lick of the lips.
May I ask why?
Yeah, well. Because he stole John Wick's car, sir, and killed his dog.
Right, so the tension and release, it's like, you got to answer for your thing. And then the silence occurs, and you're left with nothing but the anticipation of how is this guy going to react, and how he reacts, and the cut of the sound, and just the ambience that's left shows how absolutely terrifying John Wick is.
Killed his dog.
Oh.
Right, this guy, he's menacing. He's in a high rise. You assume he's involved in, criminal activity, and he's very successful at it. And he's probably, killed a few people. And he's kind of scared. And, how the shot is laid out, right? They make him seem big in this scene. Is like he's overlooking the city. It's like, I fucking run this city. And after he seems small, right? He's like, oh man. Right, so tension is building here. Right, tension is released with an impact. And that sigh, amazing performance. All right, so this is another thing that sets John Wick up to be terrifying. All right, so after that call, he comes down, and his right-hand man approaches him, and he basically says, this major deal, they've accepted our terms. Basically, he closed a major deal of some sort, and he's a major kingpin. He's, works kind of globally, and he can't even concentrate on what's going on because he's just very concerned about what his son did. Or maybe, yeah, you don't even really gather that. No, you know now that the guy is his son because of a phone call. Good use of silence here.
Vigo,
Yeah?
they've agreed to your terms. I mean, it's not like you gave much of a choice anyway, though, right? Congratulations.
Good use of silence here. Right, and son comes in.
Whatever.
The son basically maybe did a job for him,
How's your trip, kid?
We won't be hearing from them anytime soon.
and that music is there, I guess, as a transition to, I guess, state that some time has passed. Really, really well done. All right, so I love that. So he approaches, Aurelio, or Aurelio approaches him, and he stands his ground. He's unfazed because, I'm untouchable, you know what I mean? Like, my dad's a badass. But as his father, doesn't even really say anything after, he, I guess he did some muscle work for him. He kind of steps back. He's like, what's going on? Steps back. And then another impact. Right? Silence.
That's a nice jacket.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And the silence is here just because you're like, oh man, you can hear him like kind of gasping, and I don't know if you've ever been punched in the stomach, it's not very pleasant. Get the wind knocked out of you and stuff, it's not good.
Should I go?
Нет. Я чищу вопрос, который надо обсудить.
Vigo, English.
Right, all this folly, the sound of the jacket. He's taking off the jacket, and it's rubbing on the silk shirt.
Я чищу вопрос, который надо обсудить.
Right, and the he's cleaning up the thing.
Vigo, English, please, come on.
Stay, goddammit! What did I do? Je frenuls på pollen.
And it's extra scary when you see people argue in a language that you don't understand. It adds another fear, and this is like old school. It's like, I need to discipline you, kind of thing.
Did what you asked. No one saw shit.
I'm not talking about Atlantic City,
What the? You mean Aurelio's? So I stole the fucking car.
Oh, fuck, Vigo.
Right, you stay.
Yeah, when a European man tells you to stay, you stay. So a prolonged silence, and then you're gathering that he really fucked up. And I hope this video is this is not, I guess, the most It's entertaining to me. Like, I don't know. I love what that is. It's just this, like the storm is coming. And he's drinking hard.
It's not what you did, son, that angers me so. It's who you did it to.
Who? The fucking nobody?
That fucking nobody is John Wick.
And then the sound of the ice and the just, if you've ever wanted to take a stiff shot, you basically, you inhale as you drink it, and that's what he's doing here. That's a man who drinks. Right, so now, this is carried, like, the impact, like the phone going down, the hood being dropped, the punches to the face, the punches to the stomach, don't have that low end impact. But John Wick simply walking down the stairs has that low end impact.
He once was an associate of ours. We called him Baba Yaga.
And I love this reverb on the carpet here.
Boogeyman?
Well, John wasn't exactly the boogeyman. He was.
There's that impact. Just setting that sledgehammer down is more impact than that punch, any punch thus far.
Kill the fucking boogeyman.
So this is amazing. So this is the part where he tells his son the story about, you know, how he killed a bunch of guys with a pencil. And it doesn't show it, but it shows John Wick's brutality with the sledgehammer breaking through the concrete.
Oh, John is a man of focus, commitment, sheer will. Something you know very little about.
And those impacts are, I guess, multiple layers. Low in impact and a metallic sound as well, like metal being struck.
Something you know.
Right. Adds to it, like you don't realize it. It's like, you know, a sledgehammer doesn't make that sound when you hit concrete. Like I've done demolition and it doesn't make that sound, but it fills up, I guess, the space.
I once saw him kill 3 men in a bar
Here we go.
with a pencil. With a fucking pencil.
Right. There's that brutality. Like you kill someone with a pencil, you can imagine how brutal it is. And, you know, it's being displayed with his, you know, what he's doing right there. I want to play that one more time.
I once saw him kill 3 men in a bar with a pencil. With a fucking pencil.
I like this part.
Suddenly one day, he asked to leave. It's over a woman, of course. So I made a deal with him. I gave him an impossible task. A job no one could have pulled off.
Right, the sound of the gravel too. Must have been really fun to record Foley for this movie. Or Foley.
The bodies he buried that day laid the foundation of what we are now. And then my son, A few days after his wife died, you steal his car and kill his fucking dog.
Father, I can make this right.
Oh, how do you plan that?
By finishing what I started.
What the? I didn't hear a fucking word I said.
Papa, ja все исправлю, пожалуйста.
Dios, muy sen. John will come for you.
Basically knows his son's gonna die and there's nothing he can do about it.
You can do nothing. So get the fuck out of my sight.
It's that release of tension, right? And I like that you can see, the coins are like, what the heck is that? And you notice that he has the same ones here. Good use of silence. And I'm going to find his phone number in his book here.
Hello, John.
Good pause there.
I heard about your wife. I'm sorry. My condolences. It seemed to be fate, or happenstance, or just bad fucking luck once again. John? Let us not resort to our baser instincts and handle this like civilized men to move on.
There's something about rotary phones in movies. You notice that Aurelio and John Wick have rotary phones.
To move on.
And this is amazingly done, and I'll explain why. Or I'll briefly make a comparison. I played a video game, a computer game, called Dead Space 2, and I just got so bored of it because every corner was a jump scare, and eventually it just kind of got old, and there was not a whole lot of pacing in that game. It was kind of disappointing, and I'm glad, we're kind of moving away from that in the video game world, but this just, it's like a mini movie. It goes up, and then tensions kind of released, and then it goes up, tensions released, and then it gets to like the absolute climax. And this is just one of those scenes that I appreciate. And the look on everyone's performance lends to making John Wick so good, and it sets up the next scene, which he, absolutely destroys a bunch of people that try to take him out. So yeah, I hope that video was entertaining. It's something, I appreciate sound design in this way, and without it, it wouldn't be the same movie. They really nailed it, and I really appreciate it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you learned stuff. Take care and have a good one.